Hey gang, so it is time for our polynomial review pretest video. So without further ado, let's get going. Grab a dry erase board, marker, and a rag, and here we go. Alright, we're going to start off with a simple subtraction polynomial problem. So take a second, let's write that on the board. 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 1 minus the polynomial x squared plus 2x minus 5. I'm going to give you about 20 seconds to get started on that one. When you get it, you can hold it up on your board. All right, so I'm going to remember that when I start this one, let me see if it'll let me do that. Yeah, it will. When I start, I've got a negative right here, so I'm going to have to fix that negative. I'm going to change it to addition, and I'm going to change all the other signs, whatever they are, I'm going to change them to the opposite. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take this one on the right, and I'm going to slide it under the one on the left. So that's going to be negative, oh, let me use red again. Negative 1, oh, x squared. Where do I need to put that? Yeah, it needs to go underneath the other x squared. And then, you know what? I've got that negative 2x right there, and there's not an x. So here's what I think I'm going to do, and maybe you figured this out already. I'm going to have to rewrite all this. So I'm going to bring this first one, 2x cubed plus 3x squared. I'm going to leave a bit of a space and then put minus 1. Now I'm going to take this one and slide it up under. So that's going to give me negative 1x squared minus 2x and then plus 5. And now it's a little bit better about how I have it lined up. So I've got 2x to the third. Hopefully you got that. And then I've got 3 minus 1. I'm going to subtract here, so that's going to be a positive 2x squared. This negative 2x is just going to slide right down. And then I've got negative 1 plus 5, which will give me 4. And there's my answer. Is it in standard form? It is. The highest exponent is first, 3, then 2, then 1, and then if you remember, it would be 0. All right, so the main thing is when you're subtracting, you need to remember, change it to addition, change all the signs back here behind it. Not these up here, just the ones back here behind it. All right, raise your hand if you have any questions. Clear off your board. Let's do another one. 3x minus 2 times x plus 4. 3x minus 2 times x plus 4. So I'm going to do a box on this. A binomial times a binomial. So I'm going to create my box. I'm going to give you just a little bit of time to fill in your box. I'm going to put 3x and negative 2 on this side, and I'm going to put the x and the positive 4 up here at the top. Now I need to find the area of each one of those boxes. So take a second, fill it in. And then remember, when you get all the area, you are going to add all of it up. Everything inside the box, you're going to add up. Like families are going to go together. All right, so that's going to give me 3x to the second power. Over here, I'll have 12 times x. On the bottom, I've got negative 2 times x, and negative 2 times 4 will give me negative 8. Now remember, on the diagonal, they always add together. So that's going to equal 3x squared. I'm going to put 12x and negative 2 together. So 12 minus 2 will be negative 10x, and then I still have that negative 8 over there. Is it in standard form? Yes, it is. The highest exponent is first, and then it descends down. So this would be my answer. All right, what questions do you have? All right, clear your board. Let's do, how am I on time? 5 minutes. No, let's go ahead and do another one. Let's do one. What if I have a bigger problem? What? Okay. On this one, you've got, here we go. On your board, you're writing 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1 times x squared minus 2x minus 10. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off. It's multiplying, so I'm going to go ahead and do my box. I'm going to draw. I'm not going to worry that if it doesn't fit. I'm just going to go ahead and start with what I got. And I'm going to put my 2x and my negative 1 here. And then up across the top, I'm going to put x squared minus 2x minus 10. So x squared minus 2x. Oh, but look, I've got a negative 10, but I don't have anything over here. So all I do is I just extend it over because I need to do that minus 10 on there. Now, take a second, see if you can complete each of the squares. Write into the square what the area is. So over here, I've got 2x times x squared. That's 2 times 1 is 2, and x and 2x is 3. So I've got a 2, and then I've got x to the third. Keep going, fill that in. I'm going to give you just a little bit. All right, here we go. Negative 4x squared. Hold your board up if you get it. I'll see if I can answer. You may have to just wait until I can get the answer. All right, so I think that's right. I may have missed it, but if I did, let me know. All right, remember on the diagonal, they are going to go together. So I'm going to have 2x to the third. And I'm going to have that 20 on the end too. Negative 4x squared and negative 1x squared, that's going to be positive. No, I'm sorry. Negative. I'm adding 5x squared. Negative 20 and positive 2x are going to go together and give me negative 18x. And then I'm still left with this 20 down here. I'm going to double check that it's in standard form. Highest exponent first and on down. And we are. So we are good to go there. So just remember when you do the trinomial, take your time and see if you can figure that one out. All right, let's do division. I'm going to give you a second, see if you can remember how to set it up. Hold your paper up if you get it. So remember, division is nothing more than a bunch of fractions put together. Okay, so let me write it out. So that's 5x to the fourth over 2x squared. 10x to the third over 2x squared. I'm going to change this to plus a negative 2x so it's easier to see. So negative 2x over 2x squared. Here we go. Simplify each one. You know what? 5 over 2 is not going to reduce, so it's going to stay 5 over 2. But when I have 4 x's on top and 2 on bottom, that's going to go away and leave me with 2 x's on top. So I'm going to have this. 2 x's on top. Now, the other option would be to write it like this, 5/2 x squared. Either way works. 10 divided by 2 will be 5, so that'll be plus 5. And then 3 x's on top and 2 on bottom. That's going to leave me with 1 on top. And then the negative 2 over 2, those are going to cancel out, leaving me with just a negative 1. So minus 1, 1x on top and 2 on bottom is going to leave me with 1x on the bottom. So it's going to look like this. So if I were to write my answer like this one down here, it would look like 5x minus 1 over x. Either way you want to write it, it doesn't matter to me. 5/2 x squared plus 5x minus 1 over x. Sometimes your division will come out nice and neat. Sometimes they have a bit of a remainder here on the end that's kind of funky looking. So just remember that as you're working them. All right, we are at 10 minutes, so I've got a little bit more time. I've got a couple more to work with you. Okay, the application ones. Let's find the perimeter of this triangle. I'll give you a second to draw it. Find the perimeter. That's where you walk around and add up all the sides. I'm going to start over here with 3x squared. I'm just going to add them up. So I'm going to say 3x squared plus 5x squared plus 2x minus 1. Find your families, put them together. Hold your board up if you get it. Simplify it, because that is not simplified. I see some families up here that I can put together. 5 and 3 give me 8. I do not change the family name. 2x doesn't have anybody to go with, and neither does the 1. So there is the perimeter. All right, raise your hand. What questions do you have? All right, erase your boards. Let's go to the next one. Draw a rectangle. Here we go. 3x minus 1 and 2x plus 1. Let's find the area. Area is length times width, so let's set it up. Three x minus 1 times 2x plus 1. I'm going to draw my box because I'm doing binomials. I like to draw the box. It makes it easier for me. I'm going to fill in my box. So I'm going to have a 3x and a negative 1 and a 2x and a positive 1. And I'm going to multiply. 2x times 3x is going to give me 6x squared. 3x times 1 will give me 3x. 2x times negative 1 will be, negative 2x. I dropped my pen. I know y'all couldn't see that. Negative 1 times 1 will give me negative 1. Always add up your box. Let's add up everything in here. Remember, on the diagonal, those always add together. So I'm going to have 6x squared. Add up the diagonal. 3x minus 2x will be a positive 1x. And then I still have that negative 1. So I could write 3x squared plus x minus 1. Either one. It doesn't matter to me which one you pick. All right. All right, raise your hand. What questions do you have? I think, oh, no, I got one more. Here we go. Let's bring it home. We haven't even hit 15 minutes yet. We're doing good. All right, so you've got this problem, and you need to find the area of the yellow. I'm going to give you a minute to get this one, and then I'll start working it. I know we usually talk about the big and the small. And you need to find the area of both. All right. I know I'm down here on the bottom. I don't know how much of this y'all can really see. So I'm going to find the area of the big. So I'm going to do 5x and 1 and 3x and 2. So I'm going to, in my square, I'm going to have 15x squared, a 10x on the top, 3x, and 2 on the bottom. So I'm going to add it together, and I'm going to put it up here at the top. I'm going to have 15x squared. 10 and 3 will give me 13x. And then I've got that 2. So that's my big one. I'm going to subtract from that the small one. Since it's just a binomial to a monomial, I'm just going to multiply. So that'll be 8x squared, and that'll be minus 4x. So I need to subtract this from the big one. So I'm going to put parentheses, don't let this mess you up, 8x squared minus 4x. All right, so remember we need to change the sign, change the sign. So we're going to change it to addition, change it, and change it. So I'm going to take this 8x squared, this negative 8x squared, I'm going to slide it under the 15 over here. So negative 8. If you've got it on your board, hold it up. Let me see it. And then plus 4x. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put my answer in green. 15 minus 8 will be 7x squared. 13 plus 4 will be plus 17x. Oh, man, right when I'm in the middle of recording. Hold on. Okay, 17x. And then we still have that plus 2 on the end. So that'll be plus 2. And that is my yellow area. All right, what questions do you have? I believe that is my last one, y'all. So any last minute questions before the test, you can raise your hand and ask me. Thanks for watching.